traffic out of the way. It's between these two. They're even for the white flag lap.
This race still very undecided.
Bradley had the lift. Big run for McWhorter. This is going to be his chance.
They're running out of time and they know it.
The bottom surges to the inside, now pulls even with Hutton off of turn number 2.
900 horsepower at their feet.
That was a huge run for Bradley. He got back the advantage, but here comes a big dive. McWhorter might just try to run him out of room here. Oh, he put him in the wall. They're going to crash. They both crash. Here comes Ray Massey. Ray Massey's going to win it.
Here tonight for the final race of Season 2 to crown a champion. In the desert in Arizona, there's a racetrack that's seen many different configurations, but here tonight, we're going to see a configuration like no other. J Wright, J.Mcwhorter are going to duel it out for this championship. Season 2 Saturday Night Racing League, it's live here on V-Speed. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and alongside me all season long, Connor Horn. Connor, let's just quantify all of this. 15 points. It doesn't seem like much, but here tonight, J.Mcwhorter, he just has to finish in the top 10.
That's what my math has it as, a 15-point gap coming in tonight after the craziness of Vegas at flip-flop. So J.Mcwhorter comes into the final race of the season with a 15-point lead over the dominant driver of the season, J Wright, who has 5 wins. And he could have easily won the last 2 races, but has not gone his way. Not quite over yet. He needs to get max points. Almost certainly he'll need to get max points to have a realistic chance. Outpoint McWhorter by 16 points. But with my math, even if he gets max points, as long as McWhorter finishes 10th place, he will be the champion. We'll try to work out the math where they're running maybe later in the race, but that's really the main focal point. If he gets top 10, there's nothing J Wright can do. And what a situation McWhorter has himself in here coming into Phoenix.
I mean, it's an excellent spot to be in here tonight. And, J Wright kind of having a break moment there at Las Vegas, kind of setting this all in stone. Guy was dominant all season long, but it's still mathematically possible. We want to establish that that can still happen here today. And it's Phoenix. Anything can go down. This track very torturous on the tires, and guys can make mistakes, especially out of turn 2 where it gets very loose there on that exit, so guys have to be careful. Here tonight we've got our track map up on the screen, the 1 mile length Phoenix Raceway. I think that's a little off. Is it exactly 1 mile here tonight, Connor?
It is exactly 1 mile. I believe it always has been. Yep, exactly 1 mile.
So 11 and 8 degrees on the turns and 3 degrees on the straightaway. And of course we have that dog leg that everybody's probably not going to use. They're going to cut a little bit short there, but let's bring those race analysis up on the screen here. Tonight, 160 laps, 45 mile per hour pit road speed limit. 4 tire sets available and 85% fuel as we've had all season long. 3 green, white checkers. I'm excited here to get this thing underway, but before we hit the grid, we've got a driver that we need to bring up in here. It's actually a hometown favorite for this racetrack. We're going to bring Chad Klinger up into the booth and get a quick word with him. He's actually our pole sitter as well.
He's our pole sitter, and he's right here. And I just go into interviewing him myself. Chad, you're the pole sitter. You're the hometown guy. You've had a solid season, maybe a little up and down, but you have a chance to go out with a big bang here in Phoenix. Take us through what your approach is going to be.
Well, it's to not mess up. I've had some bad races this season, but I tend to I want to keep it up front today and possibly win the race at my home track.
Yeah, it definitely would be a big bang. You almost had the win last week. You were pretty much 2 corners away from the victory last week, so this could be a big opportunity to have a good run then this season. What does it take to win at this track? A track that might be tough to pass at some points, but obviously you got that crazy dog leg, so it starts and the start and restarts might be crazy. What do you think you need to win here?
Mainly just track position. You have to be in the top 5 for a chance at the win at this track, because, like you said, it's tough to pass, and the dog leg can be unpredictable at times because who knows how wide we're going to go at the start and restart. So you want to be up front, you want to keep it clean, have good pit stops, and just be there at the end.
All right, we hope to see you at the end battling for the win. Thanks for talking to us, Chad. And quick question, what channel do you go back into? I tracked you. I don't know which channel you were in.
It'd be Dolphin Motorsports.
I got you. Congratulations on the pole, Chad. Let's try to put in victory lane. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Have a good broadcast.
You have a good race. We'll have a good broadcast. Thank you.
So with that, we'll take you trackside now, get the grid up on the screen. Here tonight, of course, starting on the pole, Jack Klinger with a 27.483. That will win over Bailey Turner with a 27.494. That will be your front row. Row number 2 goes Noah Mahalski with Alex Bell in 4th position. Jeff Wright, the 2nd place in points. This is going to be tight here. Chuck Sweeting's going to start in 6th. 7th spot, Julio Villalobos Jr. Angelo Horonis is going to start in 8th. Rounding out your top 10, it's Bryce Shoemaker, and the points leader is going to round out your top 10.
And then Jerry Bergeron qualifying just outside behind. He'll start 11th. Max Koss starts 12th in points. He comes into tonight in the 7th position. 13th place going to be Austin Belke in the 89. Caleb Weekly 14th position. Weekly 6th in points coming in tonight. 15th, Ray Massey. Logan Threlkeld, who had a pretty bad crash 2 weeks ago, he'll start 16th. Bobby Patrica, another start this season, 17th. Eddie Trejo in the 18th position. Then Keith Shoemaker and Philip Brewer rounding out the top 20.
It's Brandon Wallace, Alec Martinez out there, V-Speed's very own. 23rd spot as we try to get through this is Clark Grecknen and Casey Lakatos, and rounding out your field, Seth Hatchell and Stephon Davis. But let's take you down there. Green flag is out. The final race of season number 2, SNR, is underway.
We got a car on the wall. We got a crash already. Turn number 1, Stephen Davis. No, Casey Lakatos is in the wall. Now Stephen Davis just spun. I don't think that's going to be a caution. Lakatos came into tonight dead last in the chase standings, and he might stay there, but we stay green.
Already competing a battle side by side across the line. Some contact between Bailey Turner and Chad Klinger, and that wreck didn't bring out a yellow. There was a car stopped in the middle of turn 1. It's kind of surprising, Connor, that there's actually pieces of that car still laying on the racetrack, that the yellow flag didn't fall.
No debris yellows, and because no one was behind the 50 and the 66 who spun, that's why the yellow didn't fly. Brandon Wallace had a big hit into the wall. He actually got the worst of that. He'll come to pit road with a lot of damage, so he might have gotten the worst of that. So might already be down one in the 26-car field, but it was almost even crazier battle for the lead. I think they did make contact, Klinger and Bailey Turner, but Klinger came out on top.
We're going to take it back on the instant replay here. Let's see what happened. This is a checkup with 3 wide, and Lakatos was just an innocent bystander. The 66 goes sideways. Yeah, Lakatos was completely stopped facing the wrong direction in turn 1.
And yeah, there's nothing you could do there. The 99 Brandon Wallace kind of turned him, and we got issues in the way back of the pack now live. Someone went way to the apron. Don't know what happened. It looked like that was Alec Martinez, but they are mixing it up back here. Thankfully, the 73 is ahead of all this. Craziness to start this race. And I think part of that's because everyone knows how hard it is going to pass, especially since it's a night race. I think that's going to make it even more difficult.
Martinez off of turn 2. He found a hole right in front of the 44. Philip Brewer just barely put his car in there, but he will get the momentum coming out of that corner. He's picked up 6 spots already from where he began this race.
They were Threlkeld into turn number 1. He saved it. He got loose in the dog leg. I was looking back at the replay of what happened out of 4 the previous lap, and it looked like he got into Jerry Bergeron, who then hit Caleb Weekly. That's what caused that stack up. Then he had an issue with the dog leg that got him sideways.
He's back to it now, back up on the racing surface. Casey Lakatos, of course, after that spin, he's got it back facing the right way, but he is 7.9 seconds from the tail end of the field and about 15 and a half from the lead. Stephon Davis right behind him, and Brandon Wallace, of course, on pit road. Chad Klinger coming around to lead another lap. This will be the 6th one as he passes by. And a stellar start. Had a little competition there from Turner, but he put it to rest. And how about this? The points battle that we were talking about pre-race. McWhorter has gained 4 positions. Jeff Wright's only gained 2. He's up to 3rd. 6th spot here for the 73.
And it's not been, like we talked about, it's not been the best season for Chad Klinger. I don't believe he has any wins this season compared to last season. And he hasn't led too many laps. About maybe, trying to do the math, just under 100 maybe. He really hasn't been at the front for a lot of races. He was so close last week, but he got the right side door from Joshua Banks, who will finish probably top 5 in points. Not here tonight, child on the way. Congrats to Joshua, but he kind of used up the 0-9 last week. So Klinger, like we're talking about, trying to go out on a high note, and he's got the lead so far, and we're seeing everyone pretty much running around the bottom of the racetrack. I've seen some drivers drift up to the top in 1 and 2 because it almost feels more banked up in 1 and 2. But in reality, it also feels more like that there's actual PJ1 up there, although there really isn't. It's a very, very weird situation, but you'll see that top line, at least during the day, usually be used a lot more. I'm not sure how much you'll see it tonight as the sun goes down early.
I always try to approach this 1 and 2 like a Pocono turn 3, kind of a late apex and trail brake to get it down into the exit, but everybody's got a different approach to this racetrack, and there's multiple grooves, multiple lines. Some guys prefer to cut this, as you see the 09, a little bit more shallow, and other guys will take it all the way down to the pit wall. We've seen guys, especially in BTDY, where they'll go all the way down to that cone and almost hit it before they decide to come back up. And those are some brave souls, because that doesn't leave you a lot of runway to land into turn 2.
No, definitely not. You got to be very, very careful with how you go through a dog leg. We saw already one driver get cocked sideways because of that transition. Just gets you loose if you're not careful. It's much worse in the next-gen cars, but it will get you sideways in an Xfinity Series car as well. So these drivers got to be very aware of that. And they'll definitely use it more of a defense mechanism at times, as well as a element of offense. You'll see some drivers trying to defend the spot. If someone gets to their outside, they'll cut the dog leg and probably try to dive hard into turn number 1 to try to keep the position. We could see that later in the race once the once the aggression picks up. It's not too aggressive right now. We saw some craziness, but no one going overly aggressive, I would say. There are some movers to the front, and one of them is title leader J.Mcwhorter. He started 10th. He's up to 5th. He's one of the biggest movers tonight. The other one, I think the biggest mover, is actually Seth Hatchell. He started 25th. He's up to the 18th position.
And I kind of predicted that Seth maybe botched the qualifying or had a problem, didn't make it there in time, but starting back deep in this field, it's going to take a while. And we did run some practice laps together. I have complete faith that Seth Hatchell has the speed to get up there in that top 10. Just made it a little bit harder. He's got a guy in front of him that I predict will probably be close to that top 10 as well, and that's Alec Martinez. As for the rest of this field here, though, we've got some guys that had wins this season, and I think it's worth noting that they didn't make the top 12, but they had great races. They had stellar seasons. It was just, one or two many DNFs or mistakes or things that happened that was beyond their control. And one of those drivers is Ray Massey. If you remember back, your points leader, McWhorter, could have had a win. And it was, I believe, the last name was Bradley, coming out of turn.
Bradley.
Yeah, coming out of turn 4. Those two get together, and Ray Massey's just right place, right time. But he was going to get 3rd in that race, and so there's a number of guys through this. Reggie Ortega is another name that comes to mind that had a win this season. Quite a few drivers, quite a few drivers that had great racing. And Alec Martinez, of course, not chase eligible. He missed a lot of races, but he did get a victory at Dover, I believe.
Yeah, Dover, he was able to get the victory. Adam Cabot obviously had a win this season at Talladega. That was in a chase. Ben Baffert at North Wilkesboro out of nowhere, even with a damaged car. And obviously the other winner that didn't make the chase, Bailey Turner, in the 2nd position, as Alex Bell has dropped down the order, which is not good.
Yeah.
He was running good.
He's having a connection issue.
Well, he's back, but for how long? We'll find out. But as we were talking about, Turner's running 2nd. He's been very, very fast every single week that he races. Just not quite enough to get into the chase, but he would have been a certain contender if he was able to make it, and he is running down race leader Chad Klinger.
And we talk about just race participation, making it every single week. And last season it was Max Cost who was the most consistent at that, and I believe pulled out a top 5 in the points. So, you know, sometimes it's not just about getting a top 10 finish every week, making the whole season. And, you know, things come up in life, things change. There's always a schedule issue or conflict, and maybe not always a conflict, but just things happen. Prime example of that would be Joshua Banks. Congrats to him. You said it in the pre-race, but congratulations to him. I know he would love to be here, but there's more important things going on out there. Contrary to my post-race interview with him, I don't think he took the bait on that. You know, just go in, hold her hand, and then race home.
I don't think that he did take. I don't think he did take that advice, and I think he'll be happy with that decision regardless. As we're looking through this battle for second is heating up. Jeff Wright's got to go. Like we said, he probably needs max points, and he's not doing it right now. Trying to get around the 24 of Turner, but it doesn't matter because McWhorter's fourth. That's all he needs to do. McWhorter finishes right there. He's the champion no matter what. But Jeff Wright's trying to go out with a bang, at least get one more victory. He's been snake bitten in this chase for the most part. He had at least a decent solid run the first two races, the first race really, Talladega, caught up in a crash, and then obviously the previous 2 weeks dominated the race, led over 200 laps the last two races, wasn't able to close it out because of late race restarts and green-white checkers, but he has still been a dominant driver this season.
So we got a cactus cam here tonight. I'm not sure of the importance of that. I think it'd be great for a scenic shot. How about that? A little contact coming out of that corner.
Yeah, maybe did look like maybe a little bit of contact. Jeff Wright is faster, but we'll see if Bailey really tries to defend on this higher line. You can go all the way high, get the run out of 2 to keep the position, or you can just pinch him into the apron. That's a possible line as well, and that worked out with the 24. You can run below that yellow line of 1 and 2. You just won't see that used as much, I don't think. Don't think it'll be as effective. And the reason Bailey's trying to keep the 48 behind instead of letting him through, because he knows he's also catching Chad Klinger. He wants to be the first driver to the clean air, not Jeff Wright.
Well, and catching and passing, just as you saw with Jeff Wright, once the 24 gets there, Chad can probably play the same strategy on him. We're actually hearing a downshift here with the 24. It's another interesting tactic that some drivers will use, especially later in the run. They'll downshift to third gear to try to power out of that corner. You have to be careful, though, because now you're raising those engine RPMs. A lot of more variables. You can over short shift or downshift too early, and then just a mistake ready to happen is how I would put it.
Now you see Jeff Wright try to go to that outside line. Heard a number of drivers shifting in 1 and 2, not 3 and 4 quite yet though. We'll see if that changes because the RPMs are low in 3 and 4 as well, as Jeff Wright did use that outside to get the run to the inside of Bailey Turner. Turner not letting him go easily. Once again, pitched him just a little bit. We'll see if that 48 tries to take as much of the dogleg as possible to try to stay in position to make this pass. He went probably as far down as he could have, but the issue with going into that dogleg, you mess up your entry into a corner, you don't have as wide of an arc, not able to make it work as well. But the difference in doing that is that you're really probably just going to dive bomb the driver and slide up in front of him in the middle of 1 and 2. That's exactly what the 48 did to get the second.
Cut that apron a little bit, and I was calling that the Bailey Turner line during practice, but Jeff Wright just used it against him to get that position. Now they're going to try to run away, chase down Chad Klinger, who's led every single lap thus far. 24 laps about to be complete. 09 after qualifying on the pole is looking pretty stout. Sherwin-Williams 09 has had very many scenarios where he's been up front. It's just, like you said last week, it kind of got away. It was just everybody else was a little bit fresher tires or a different scenario, and another one that could have been.
And all these drivers
Turner in the wall.
Turner tapped it a little bit. I don't think it hurt him too badly, but he's definitely not as fast as Jeff Wright right now. Still solidly in third. McWhorter's still running that higher line. He's the only one that's committed to running that high line in 1 and 2, but he's actually diamonding it a little bit, like you were talking about, entering high, but also firing it to the bottom on the exit of the corner, getting the greatest run possible. It's working out so far. It's got him up 6 positions since the start of the race, as that battle's probably going to heat up soon. The battle for 13th is hot. Ray Massey was involved in it, but now he's up to 12th, but got about 5 drivers under a blanket, one of them being Alec Martinez at the very back of it. Caleb Weekly's the one going backwards. We still have a little bit of a fight, maybe for the 3rd position. Alex Bell blinked out, so who knows what his issues might hurt him with. He is still 9th, but it's a very possible scenario that Alex Bell could walk away with 3rd in the championship, but Chuck Sweden could also do the same.
On board with Caleb Weekly, looking back at Philip Brewer. This is the battle for 13th. And Caleb is still up one position, but he's got some guys that are on their way up through this field. Seth Hatchell's gained 10 spots. Philip Brewer up 6, and Alec Martinez up 5. So there's a few cars behind him that, overall, since the race has begun, are a little bit quicker, but he's keeping them at bay for now, just outside this top 10. Max Cost looking really loose here off of turn 2. Hold on to it there, Max.
As Caleb Weekly did as well. There's not too many drivers that have fallen back through the field, but the one main one is Jerry Bergeron, who started 11th and is back to the 20th position, pretty much running all on his own behind Eddie Trejo. But yeah, definitely a struggle for the one car so far, as you're starting to see more drivers drift up high in 1 and 2. Pretty much the 4 drivers behind J.Mcwhorter did it. Hronis, Mahalski, Chuck Sweeting all running that high in 1 and 2. Also, Villalobos was running high as well, but that's because he's got Alex Bell on his inside, trying to get back to 8th after the internet connection issue.
Almost a little contact there between the 15 and the 45. And new sponsor here, we've mentioned 29 Graphics quite a few times. If you know our mid-race Get Loud segment, you are very familiar with the 29 Graphics, and Julio Villalobos has been a big proponent for paint schemes here at SNR. Good to see he's actually having a really good day here as well. I remember his first race in here, it was kind of a rocky start, but it looks like he's cleaned it up, put a little time in, and running top 10 tonight.
Yeah, first race was at North Wilkesboro. He got 8th, but nothing inside the top 20 since in the previous 3 races, so this would be a solid run if he could top it off with a top 10, bookend the seasons for himself at least. So doing well in that regard so far, but he is still not giving up the battle to the 15.
We go back to the inside here in turn 3. This is kind of the most frustrating corner unless you are committed to cutting that dog leg. You really can't pass there. You get a good run out of this corner, and that's really where you got to set up your pass. And then the next one is you got to get a good exit here. And guys are going to experiment with that all race long. Like you said, track's going to change. We're in the late evening. I'd say once that sun goes down, it's probably going to be a little bit of a cut there through that 1 and 2. I think guys are going to start trying that apron.
I would not be surprised. Track temp's still 97 degrees, but it will certainly come down. The ambient temp is 89, and I don't know how much that will go down. Based on the weather that iRacing tells us, that ambient temp won't come down. So, but with the night falling, almost certainly that track temp will basically be what the air temp is a little later. The sun's still not completely down though, but we'll see if that changes how drivers approach that dog leg, because we saw someone already get loose through there, but maybe once the night falls it won't be as sketchy trying to cut it every other lap. It puts a burden on the tires, no doubt.
Battle for third now. Starting up, Bailey Turner, J.Mcwhorter to the inside, pinch down there on the exit. Turner's going to hold on to the 3rd spot. They are making up a little bit of ground. Jeff Wright has not been able to get around Chad Klinger. He keeps peeking to the outside through this portion, trying to get that run to cut the dog leg.
Here we go.
09's been pretty flawless, though, in the defense.
This is pretty much all Jeff Wright can do, because I don't think 09's going to give him that high side. Saying that, Bailey Turner just pretty much arrow blocked J.Mcwhorter back there. But Whorter wasn't close enough to even hit him. Klinger got that run off the top side. That's going to be the issue with the 48. He can get to the inside. I think he is faster than Chad Klinger right now, but he doesn't have clean air, so his tires will wear a little bit faster than the 09s, but at the same time, he can't pass the 09 even if he's faster. The high line just getting too good of a run. Mcwhorter's having the same issue. Bailey Turner will not let him go high. He's going to force him to go low to make this pass. Mcwhorter's going down there trying to make that bottom work, but you just can't wrap the bottom enough to deter that run that the higher line gets. And it's not a heavily banked corner. It's not progressive, really. It's just that much better.
8 degrees, I believe it was.
It's just that much more grip on the higher side since this track got rescanned.
24 is going to hold pace. Chad Klinger holds the lead. Passing going on back here. The 18 inside Caleb Weekly for the 14th spot. And Alec Martinez will go by clear on his track to the top 10. So most positions gained. Seth Hatchell, he's up 12. He's in the mid-pack here in 13th spot. I kind of called, though, in the beginning when we talked about top 10 car. I think Seth Hatchell has it. It's just a shame that he had to start so far back, because it probably could have been a top 3 car had he not had to start all the way back in the 25th position.
Kind of interesting, Alec Martinez, who's up right behind him in the 14th position. It's kind of interesting that really this is his 5th start of the season, and 4 of his 5 starts, their tracks out categorized as pretty bad passing and bad aero wash. Pocono, Dover, Milwaukee, and now Phoenix are these 4 tracks. So he's made it hard on himself in his starts. His other start was Atlanta, old Atlanta, which I don't think qualifies, but definitely made it hard on himself. I think that's part of it. He likes a challenge for himself, but I know he hates his dirty air, and it's making him struggle right now. He's up to 14th, up 8 spots, but I think he would have wished to be a little further up at this point.
So a few of the cars are running on board here with Austin Belke. This is one of the cars that's lost a few positions, down 4 from the original starting spot in 13th back to 17th. And then there's another driver that's lost even more than that. It's Jerry Bergeron. And this guy started up in the top 10. No, correction, 11th. But still, I mean, that's a lot of spots.
Yeah, pretty big fall. Noted it maybe a dozen or so laps ago. It's definitely been tough sledding. He was part of the issue with the 12 and the 13. I believe they made contact, caused that stack up where we saw Martinez go to the inside wall. He has not been able to recover from that. He just sat behind Eddie Trejo ever since.
Battle for 7th spot. Alex Bell's starting to get that connection back, so he's trying to work his way back through the field. We saw Julio battling with him earlier for the 8th spot, but ultimately Alex Bell able to hold on now on the offense towards Chuck Sweeting. And Sweeting's going to aero block him through 1 and 2. That's a tactic I'm starting to see a little more common. Guys are taking away each other's lines.
It's a big, it's a focus thing a lot of the time. There are aero ramifications to it, but a little part of that as well is just throwing the guy off by just running in his line, by just taking that visual aspect away from him. Makes it a little tougher for them to get through the corner properly, I think, and you're going to see Bell try to avoid that by going to the bottom, but it's tough to do so. But I think Sweeting jumped the line a little bit. I think he got too high. I'll let the 15 clear. Sweeting could cross him back over. Could have been letting him by, but either way, that's the 7th position swapped, finally. And he got it done pretty good there. It's about as clean as you can do it on the bottom.
Tuck it back in with your top 4. A little bit of tandem racing. You got 2 different lines as well. You've got a shallow entry into 1 and 2 for the 09 and the 48. And then you have Bailey Turner and Joseph McWhorter who are entering high and late apexing. Got to wonder who's saving tires doing that. Looks like the lap times have fallen off by about 1.5 seconds thus far.
We shouldn't be too far away from pit stops. 85% fuel tank. I can't imagine these guys are going to make it to lap 80. So maybe the next 10 to 20 laps, I think we'll start to see the main guys start the pit on sequence for a 2-stop race. So shouldn't be too long from now. Chad Klinger is just trying to make it to that point where he can pit. Wow, I just saw the 0-3 get way sideways out of turn number 2, but not too far away from stops.
Lost a little bit of ground there for Noah Michalski, and Alex Bell now on the back bumper for 6th spot after that mistake out of turn 2. 0-3. He has that green chase banner on that machine, but missed a couple races and had kind of bad luck in the ones he was able to make. I think for Noah Michalski, this is just one of those seasons that you're glad you made the top 12, but at this point you're just, well, we're going to come out here, we're going to participate, but they're not really racing for the championship when it started.
Yeah, Michalski had pretty high hopes, was decent in the regular season standings, missed Talladega, and missed a few races, as only ran north of Wilkesboro, Vegas, and Nashville in this chase run, so no Talladega or Auto Club. So that's pretty much what doomed to 0-3 from the start. But like you said, even in the starts, not great finishes. Got a 9th place last week, but 19th north of Wilkesboro, 24th Las Vegas was not really solid races, even in the races he did perform. So definitely a struggle in the chase, but still a solid season for the 0-3. Starting to see Sweeting try to stay with the 15, but the 15's actually still trying to work on Michalski in that 0-3. Jeff Wright's fallen off Chad Klinger a little bit. Bailey Turner's pulled away from Joseph McWhorter. I gotta say, there's a big gap between 5th place and 6th place. It's over 3 seconds from Angelo Horonis to Michalski, as Bell almost tapped the wall out of 2.
That last time by there out of 2, I think Chuck Sweeting cut Alex Bell a pretty big break, lifted off the throttle. They're trying to clear the 99 of Brandon Wallace now. Wallace had the problems early in the race where he had that damage repair, so he's 11 laps down right now, but just trying to log some laps. You never know. Things can happen. I've seen more mysterious things. Guys get their laps back and get back up there to compete, but you know, right now we've went clean and green for 47 laps. It's not looking good statistically.
I'll say green, not fully clean. We did have the turn 1 crash that didn't result in a yellow, but for the most part, been pretty solid racing, and it's very packed up 6th on back. Didn't realize how much Michalski was holding. Oh, Hronis in turn 1, excuse me. He just half spun in turn number 1. He saved it. I was about to mention how good of a job he was doing in 5th. I didn't even get to it. Stay green. I wonder if he missed a shift or what happened there to spin in turn 1 like that. Usually not that loose. But somehow through all that, he stayed 5th, so not the worst thing in the world. That looked like he shifted down too quickly.
Let's go on board with this machine here. Yep.
Yeah, that had to be it. The RPMs, too much RPMs, spun the rear tires too much. He did a great job saving it. I'm not even sure he hit the wall, but that was a great job of saving it, but I'm sure he's kicking himself because he just gave up a 3-second advantage to Michalski.
Yeah, that's a lot of ground we're talking about. He was kind of in that midway point between McWhorter and Michalski, and now, oh wow, Chuck Sweeting's car just exploded on my screen.
I saw that. I don't. That's another internet issue, but it didn't last as long as the 15s. He does still have a front end, so that's good.
I see a little oil splatter right there on the windshield from that.
I guess so. Now the 15's gone again, so a lot of things are going on right now. Bell, see if he comes back this time, because he did last time. So once again, still trying to get 3rd in the points, but the internet's probably not going to let him do that. He is back. I think he just got a bump from Chuck Sweeting because of where he blinked back in. So evidently he didn't lose any positions.
So we're going to watch the 15 car magically appear here.
Yeah, I don't know if Sweeting actually did hit him. I just saw the 15 get loose. Yeah, he tapped him, but he didn't do it. Couldn't do anything.
That's hard to judge when the car's not there, and then suddenly David Blaine pops up in front of you, and you.
Yeah, I mean,
tough.
yeah, I agree. I fully agree. No doubt about it. As things are really racy in this mid-pack. You got Martinez still trying to get to the front, but Michalski's really stacked this up to make it more of a battle. Now he's got Hronis in front of him, kind of fading because of the tire slide. He hit the wall hard. Hit the wall hard out of turn number 2. He hit it good.
That was a good touch there. It actually registered some damage in the right side. Has a little bit of paint missing. Angelo Hronis is going to lose a spot. Noah Michalski up to the top 5 now.
Yeah, he's going to be kicking himself for these mistakes, but I think the second one was just caused by how hot that right rear is. I'm sure he's trying to get the pit road as quick as possible to get new tires because he probably really wore the good off of that right rear. You can see he's still fighting it off the corner.
So 53 laps completed. Come around for lap 54, and this guy has led them all. Chad Klinger started on the pole. And when do we come down pit road? Are these guys going to try to stretch this out? Or is it going to be a 2-stopper tonight?
I feel like it's got to be a 2-stop, like I mentioned. I'd be shocked if they can make 8 laps. But look, Turner just hit the wall from 3rd, so he's starting to struggle as well. McWhorter's actually caught him back because of that. But like I said, I don't think these drivers can make the 80 on the shortened fuel tank, but we'll just have to see. We got 25 laps to make it. This is around when I thought people would start pitting. We did see Alex Bell. He did come to pit lane from the 8th position, so maybe it's the first scheduled pit stop, but he was also having internet issues that could have caused him to pit.
A number of issues with a couple different drivers. We saw the 75 of Chuck Sweeting have some issues as well. But right now, the way it sits, it's Chad Klinger, Jeff Wright, Bailey Turner, Joseph McWhorter, and Noah Michalski in the top 5. And if you're enjoying this action right now and you're an interested racer, I think this is a moment that we can take to mention the Challenger Series as we have Jeff Wright coming down pit road. The Challenger Series for SNR is currently in its recruitment phase, and the link to find more information on that is in our description on this video. So if you're interested in Saturday Night Racing League, they have the Challenger Series. It will be iRating capped. They have been tossing around some numbers. I don't have exact details on that yet, but there is more information in that link below. And also join the Discord if you are interested. Just thought I'd place that out there. These guys have had 2 successful seasons here. Looking at season number 3 to start in August.
It's still got a long way from now, so if everyone needs to make the Challenger Series, you got time to prepare for it as well. Got to prepare with your pit entries as well, because you got them. You have to have pit entries, because this has been a typically green series this season. A lot more drivers coming in, as I expected. J.Mcwhorter came down last time by Eddie Trejo. I think I saw Ray Massey, Villalobos. Mahoski came down from 5th. Chad Klinger, Bailey Turner will stay out. So this will give maybe J Wright the advantage to maybe lead some laps and get the race lead, which is exactly, it's all he can do right now. Max Cost pits from 7th. Another chase driver coming down.
This is kind of what I want to go back to. Chad Klinger has had moments where he's led races, and so he needs to go reflect on that he stayed out too long. There was races where he led the beginning portion as he has right now, and because he stayed out so long, other drivers kind of leapfrogged, and then he got put into a 3rd, 4th place position that he had to pass cars, and he couldn't work back to the front.
Kind of been the theme of his season, just not able to strategize correctly, and when he doesn't have to strategize from the lead, he usually just isn't running up at the front. He's led in about 7 races this season, so he hasn't been a dominant car on many. He did have 38 laps led last week at Nashville on strategy. That was his most. Kind of got bailed out by the yellow, then missed his stall and couldn't take tires because of it, but it almost got him to race victory. An accidental strategy almost got him to race victory, but has been a dominant season. Caution's out, and it's, I think, Stefan Davis out of turn, Eddie Trejo maybe, out of turn number 4, and this is going to shake things up big time because we had a lot of drivers a lap down,
yes,
just
we
like
did.
Jeff Wright.
Jeff Wright will get the, I think he'll get the pass. I think
Bro,
he's
Jeff
going to get
Klinger.
the pass.
I think Klinger tried to pit, and he didn't realize it was closed. He's on pit entry, and he's going to get a penalty from that. Oh, my gosh.
He might have been out of fuel. He might have had to come down.
Yeah, mate, that's possible. Oh, my goodness.
Do we have a confirmation on what car? It was Eddie Trejo,
I think it was Eddie Trejo, 21. That's what caused the yellow. I don't know. Chad Klinger, that was weird. He's saying the pits were open. That's why he pit, but the pace car's behind him. That was weird. But that's really going to hurt him. That's probably going to give him a tail end penalty.
Let's try to dial this up. Here's the 21.
23rd place, and he had not. I'm trying to see if he pit. Yes, he had just pit. And he just pins. And that triggers the yellow. Yes, that triggers the yellow. Caution's out.
Not the first one? Not the first one we had?
No. But then if we look at Chad Klinger, I don't know if he said the pits were open for him right here. You see the pace car was already out of pit road, and he would have had to stop to let the pace car by, but pit road's open, so he dives down, and I mean, there's not much he can do. Because if he doesn't pit there, he's going to the back anyways. And at that point, you can't let the pace car by. So it was just really confusing situation with iRacing and the pace car coming out immediately. I don't know if Chad's going to be able to restart from the lead. We'll see. It was really weird. I think Jeff Wright gets the lucky dog. I think we had that sorted maybe, but this is really wild. This has gotten crazy because of that. That really threw things out of whack. And yes, that is the 48 getting the wave by now.
Well, my timing and scoring is all kinds of confused here.
Yeah, it's not ready yet. What that did was trap J.Mcwhorter a lap down, so all these drivers are going to have to take the wave.
This is a weird scenario
well,
here.
Well, now he's coming back. I don't know what. We'll see how this gets sorted out.
I'm pretty certain that Jeff Wright's going to get this pass, this lucky pass. But what does this mean? I mean, my timing and scoring is jumping all over the place, but we've got a lot of cars a lap down here. We had over half the field that's going to be 1 lap down.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Like, we had the 09 leading. I'm trying to see who else had been yet to pit, actually. Like, who had not pit yet? Bailey Turner had just came down. He had just entered the pits. I think Alec Martinez was still out on track. I think Angelo Horonis had pit right before. And Philip Brewer might have been lead lap. No, he pit as well. I don't know who isn't lap down. Jeff Wright, he is now getting to the back. He did already take his lucky dog.
Well, I'm seeing here in
Nice
the
Bailey
the
Turner. I think this is going to cycle Bailey Turner because he pit right before the yellow came out. So yes, it looks like it will be Bailey Turner cycling to the lead, and Chad Klinger will be second. Angel Horonis third. Logan Threlkeld gets the fourth. So some drivers got really big breaks because of this.
I think they're going to have to delay the yellow or the green
I would think
as well.
so.
Yeah, these cars are not going to get caught up.
Keith Shoemaker's fifth. Martinez sixth. Stefan Davis seventh. Max Cost and everyone behind Max Cost, I think, is a lap down. No, Philip Brewer was lucky dog as lead lap as well. Everyone else is taking the wave, I think. And it doesn't look like we're going to extend this yellow.
Well, they have to. They have to. There's no way. There are cars that are on the other side of the racetrack.
They're not gonna. Green flag's out.
I don't agree with that.
All right, well, green flag's out anyways, so this is going to really jumble things up. What this has done, a reminder, this has put Bailey Turner into the race lead over, now it's Angel Horonis in the second, Chad Klinger to third, and Martinez is now fourth. They're 4 wide with Jeff Wright in the background, who's now in the 9th position with McWhorter in 10th. So this is going to really jumble this run up big time. Oh, Shoemaker's way up the track up there.
I may be overstepping my bounds saying that. I just, yeah.
No, a moment where we can't be honest is a moment where we should probably stop broadcasting. I think it should have been, oh, Shoemaker's on the wall. He hit it pretty good in the 31. But, a moment we can't be honest is a moment we should probably stop broadcasting. Definitely looked like it should have been a whatever you call it, extension of the yellow.
At least a little bit, but, that sets up. These guys jump on the start, and we get some good racing going into turn 1. Jeff Wright in the Hornet's nest back here.
And he's got to go. He's got to keep McWhorter behind him and put positions on the best he can to have any sort of chance. Shoemaker's still running way high. I don't know if he's trying to let people by or what, but this restart's gotten really crazy because as we see McWhorter looking at the back bumper, I think that's Casey Lakatos, who did find his rear bumper finally.
To the 73 into turn 4, trying to get around the 50 car, is actually being scored as a lap down.
Yes,
so that's not for position. So Jeff Wright right in front of him right now. And Philip Brewer, Stefan Davis, a few of these guys that were outside of the top 10 are now up in the top 5. Logan Threlkeld in the 12 has the 66 side by side.
This was a big break for a lot of drivers here. Horonis to get back on even tires after the slide. Alec Martinez jumps to 4th. That really changes his outlook on the battle for the win. And obviously Threlkeld, this is a big moment for him as well to be in the top 5. Stefan Davis, Philip Brewer, who had still been on track, pit late. What this has done is really hurt Max Cost, Casey Lakatos, and Eddie Trejo and Patrica.
I saw it, Reggie. I saw it. He doubled down on it too. All right, yeah, and yeah, like you said, we get along with everybody here. It's just one of those scenarios where, do you do it? Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. We're racing. We're green. Lap 70. Bailey Turner takes over the point. Yeah, can't do anything to change it. Angelo Horonis, Chad Klinger, and Alec Martinez. Some of these cars that have been in the top 10, with the exception of Martinez, who had to jumble his way there, race his way there, whatever you want to call it. Stayed out long enough. Now he's in the top 5, and we haven't really seen what that car is going to be like on the long run. So look out for this 18 car.
We didn't see what it would be on the long run at the front, and we also haven't seen what Chad Klinger's car is going to be like in dirty air. He led that entire first 3/8 of the race, but now because of that issue with the pace car stuck in dirty air, restarted behind Bailey Turner. Now he's in 3rd. He's going to struggle to make this pass, I think, but Horonis is trying to make a little bit of a higher line work in 3 and 4. He's trying to get runs on Bailey, get close to the rear of his bumper, maybe try to loosen him up and get the position that way, but not quite close enough yet. Still trying to look at these drivers who got wave around, see how they can get through the field. Jeff Wright's 8th. McWhorter's still in the 9th position. Wright's actually looking on the inside of Philip Brewer as he goes past the turns 1 and 2 cams. Battles all around the track. Klinger might have hit the wall there even. Cost and Davis.
A little brush.
Maybe
yeah, it was a little touch.
Tiny touch, possibly. I don't think I hurt him, though.
And so you'll see that pretty much all race long. Guys will just kind little touch to the safer barrier. Sometimes that can help alleviate that run, and I don't know. Right now, the top 4 rather, they haven't left each other, and So dirty air, though, I think has played a big factor. You saw that with McWhorter trying to get around Turner. You saw that with Wright trying to get around Klinger. It's just once you're behind a guy after so many laps, the inside doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, and it's just going to get tougher and tougher to make that pass. The track time's down to 96. I don't know how much more it will come down, but it'll certainly, this track will get more gripped up because of the sun going down and the lights coming on. So if you need to make a pass, you need to make it on the restarts or maybe get physical. You might have no other choice at this point in the race. And the issue with that, I don't know if you can get close enough to a driver to get physical. It doesn't look like Hronis can quite yet.
Looking back from Bailey Turner, he's now led 11 laps, 12 now, as I say that. 75 laps complete. And so that puts us really close to that halfway mark. Since we're green flag and racing, what do you say here? Let's do it a little early here tonight. Championship.
We did it late last week. It's
We
only
did it
fair.
late last week. We'll make up for it. Find that volume knob. That smart device, remote control. Children didn't have it hidden or steal it, or you gotta go find it. Whatever you gotta do. Let's get loud here with 29 graphics at Phoenix. I was watching there coming out of turn 2, and it looked like Chad Klinger was all over the back bumper of Angelo Hronis. He is on the go pedal now. He can see that 18 starting to fade away, and I think the 09 came prepared here tonight.
I think a big part of these top 4 pulling away is they were able to pit under the caution and have the freshest tires. Almost everyone else, 5th on back, has slightly worn tires, so they're just not as fast. Threlkeld's still 5th. He's 3 seconds back already as we close in, and we do cross halfway. 80 miles left in Saturday Night Racing League Season 2. 3 wide. That is Jeff Wright. He's trying to go. He's got McWhorter right behind him, so he's got to get track position over him. He's going to go to the way bottom.
That is way bottom into turns 1 and 2. Contact with Stefan Davis and Philip Brewer. 3 wide offset again. Jeff Wright pinched down on the bottom.
Contact.
Oh, boy.
He tried to slide up in front of both those cars. He did not clear Brewer, so he had to back out. I don't think Stefan Davis was ready for it, as that Get Loud graphic still on the screen, but it's getting pretty loud, at least for the 7th position. But he could not get by Brewer, and McWhorter was able to get by Stefan Davis as well.
Good call out on that. Sometimes I forget to hit that button. I mean, the action just picked right back up, and here I am. I had one job, Connor. One job.
Yeah, he had multiple jobs. It's fine.
Well, here we are with Jeff Wright right in front of Joseph McWhorter, 7th, 8th position. That little contact.
And it's a crushing feeling because he knows that McWhorter's behind him. There's literally nothing he can do, so it's just trying to get the best finish possible. And he just doesn't have the speed that he had the previous 2 weeks at a flat track like this. Short tracks aren't his forte. We've known that the entire, really, these 2 seasons. It's just the short tracks. He can win at them. He can run up front of them, but he can't dominate like he does at the bigger tracks. And that's the case yet again tonight. Just running 7th, not able to get through because, like I said, he doesn't have the tires that the top 4 do. That's why they're still pulling away. As finally Chad Klinger got to the bottom of Angelo Horonis, a battle for 2nd. Might no longer be a battle. Chad Klinger back runner-up, but maybe a crossover. Horonis might try it, but I don't think he has enough to run. He'll just get back in line.
So Klinger up to 2nd position, the car that's been leading the most laps here today. Now having a little bit of competition. That dirty air hasn't seemed to affect the 09 as much as we thought it could. And he is going to challenge for the lead here momentarily. Around for lap 86. And the chat is out of control here today, Connor.
So are the cars at certain points of the racetrack, so that's acceptable. Jeff Wright just got really loose back there out of 2 on the apron. Klinger's going to try to chase down Turner, but he's not quite there yet. You got that line of 4, then you got this line from Threlkeld back to Stefan Davis, and then you got some 2 wide back there. But Alex Bell's not battling either of these drivers he's battling with. He's in the middle of the Lucky Dog battle, I think. He's in the middle of Case Lakatos and Max Cost. That is the Lucky Dog battle. Eddie Trejo is a little further back of it, but this is those 2, and Alex Bell splitting that battle with the Lucky Dog.
So Klinger's back up on the back bumper. The 24 is going to go into turns 1 and 2 with some company. Maybe.
Surprised. He got him close to it. Maybe he loosened him up, but didn't quite hit him yet. I'm kind of surprised he didn't go to a high side, try to get the run into 3 to go to the bottom. But maybe just staying patient. But you don't want to sit right behind him for too long because that'll just accelerate the wear of the tires even more. As you can see right there, he was not able to really keep pace with the 24. He'll go to the apron, try to get him, but he won't be close enough to go to the inside, make the move. Here comes Alec Martinez. He gets let by Angel Horonis, so Martinez moves up as well. Horonis starts to fade.
29, definitely a top 5 car, but you saw there at the tail that long green flag run that we had prior to this. Started to make a little bit of mistakes. He got loose there in 1 and 2. He clipped the wall there. He lost ground. He was actually getting challenged by a few other cars that were deep back. There was a huge gap between 5th and 7th position, really, and fell back just before those pit stops.
Morales is able to maintain right now, and this battle's still ongoing. Jeff Wright is still hounding Philip Brewer. He's doing a really good job holding on in 6th place, and he almost kind of
contact
48.
Yeah.
Wright's
I
trying.
think he's looking in that mirror right now, and he sees the 73 car following every move. I think Jeff Wright needed to file a restraining order on Joseph McWhorter before this race.
McWhorter.
He's been stalking him every lap.
And the issue with this, kind of like we saw a few weeks ago, where if you don't make that pass on the bottom, that outside line, if there's another driver in behind, they can freight train you. That might be what happens to the 48. He's loose off the corner. Both these drivers trying to be the first one to get by Philip Brewer. Jeff Wright really stuffed it into 3 to try to stay side by side, but I think Warder's got the better tire. It's going to stay in it, but both these drivers kind of getting held up by the 44 right now as Klinger looking to the inside of the 24 for the lead. But he's not quite there. These guys are still side by side. I think Warder's got him here.
Yep. That's what you need out of that corner, is just to put him at bay. Didn't quite get him.
Didn't close the door. I don't think he wanted to risk it. This should be good.
Championship implications right here on your screen. 7th and 8th position. These drivers trying to lock it up. Of course, Jeff Wright has to finish at least 11 positions ahead. A win would probably help tremendously, but he's still going to need the 73 to fall out of the top 10 on top of that.
If he doesn't win, he only gets 42 points. He would need to finish pretty much 15 positions ahead, which would mean 7th, which would mean 17th for McWhorter, and that's just not looking likely at all. Fading away, you can see it fading away with the 73, almost certainly maybe starting to pull away. It all depends on who gets by Brewer first. Kind of the cork in the bottle, although Threlkeld's up there as well, but he hasn't battled for 5th as a battle for the leads on. Bailey Turner has Chad Klinger all up in his inside. We're left rear quarter panel. He almost made contact.
Where Chad's getting that run off the exit. He can't take it into turn 3 and 4 to get the end of that run. It's just so difficult. Once you get pinched on that inside, you get really loose. You can't accelerate out. He'll go back to the drawing board. A little wide there on the exit of 2.
Not quite there yet. Meanwhile, Brewer and McWhorter, they're still battling hard. Jeff Wright almost hit the wall. This is the best battle on the racetrack for the 6th position. Neither driver can make that inside line work. That's how tough it is here. And 73 is going to get another shot into turn 1 here using that apron. But Jeff Wright might try up the middle if he's not careful. Because now Jeff Wright, he just did exactly what McWhorter did to him. He got to the bumper of the 44 and then went around the outside of him. So neither driver can get Philip Brewer out of 6th place.
But these are just those like petty little battles that happen throughout the race, and then, you know, it's the ultimate strategy is winning the war. This doesn't conquer the 73, so he needs this position of the 44 of Brewer, but then he needs to make all that ground up to the lead. Yeah.
Klinger just slammed the wall. I was gonna know he hit the bumper of the 24 into turn number 1 because he got a little bit aero blocked, but he hit it with the right side pretty good, mostly on the door and right rear quarter panel. But it was a pretty good slam. A little tap there. Then he's gonna try to throttle up, get the run because he sees Turner struggling, but he runs out of room there and hit it pretty good.
Yeah, it might be a little aero tight right behind the 24 car. Go back to the live shot. Doesn't look like it's affected that car too bad.
He's still there, but he's not close enough quite yet to have another run at him. Almost like it takes him 5-10 laps to have one run at him. And that back 6 won't go away. It's almost about over 5th. Felkeld's kind of finally fallen back to Philip Brewer. And he got 4 cars under blanket with 2 more waiting in the wings. Oh, Stephen Davis got loose, and he saved it. I think he also got loose on the dog leg. This is close stuff right here. And we're only 10 laps away from, probably only around 10 laps away from pit stops as well. There goes Jeff Wright. He's going to try that higher line, get the run out of 4, maybe into 1 to maybe slide up in front of Philip Brewer, but he's just not close enough. We might see 3 wide. Nope, thinks better of it. I wonder, he's probably going to try to, he is going to go up the middle 3 wide.
There it is.
Not going to work.
To the outside, now diving to the bottom.
Oh, and now he's in the same situation he was in on the inside of the 44.
Almost got into the side of Logan Threlkeld there out of the exit.
It's pretty good stuff, but Philip Brewer, this is a masterful job of defensive driving. He got here a little bit fortunate to get up here, but he's done a great job maintaining position to be in this top 5 position now. I'd be shocked to see if Jeff Wright didn't try to pull a slider. He didn't slide up. He's just going to try to wrap the bottom, and it's just not going to quite work. And this is going to let, once again, McWhorter is going to be able to get a run. They both got super sideways off the corner, as did the 66.
Holding down to the inside. I'm surprised Jeff had still enough momentum to stay door to door. He's going to slide.
That's a slide job.
That'll work, but McWhorter is going to benefit the most from that. He's going to dive to the inside here, maybe put it all to rest.
He's not going to have room to slide up if he wants to, but he just might be fast enough. I think Philip Brewer, now he's going to have more drivers in front of him. It might be tough to stay here, but he is going to hold up McWhorter another lap. That's what Jeff Wright would like to see, but there's a lot more to happen for him than that. But still, good job from that 44.
$102 laps complete now. Actually 101. Bailey Turner's coming around for that 102, and he is officially led. 39 now. Jack Klinger under fire for the 2nd spot. Alec Martinez has finally inched his way up here. We were kind of hinting at a 4-way battle there, and it took a little bit to get around Angelo Herodes, and now he's challenging Klinger. I think right now, if you're the 09, the 24, you might be content to just making it that last pit stop and then go after it.
It's going to be interesting. Austin Belkey just pit lap 102. You're probably able to make it from here. And we see how important track position is. Alex Bell was running top 10. He hasn't been able to get back closer up than 12. The 73 was in the battle for 3rd. He's still behind Philip Brewer. We've seen how long he's taking to get by the 44. So track position is very important. I think you'll see that portrayed by the green flag pit stop sequence. I think you'll see a lot of drivers trying to undercut one another here. I think Chad Clarence is just going to try to pass him before they even get to that point. Villalobos just pit from 20th. No, I think McWhorter and Brewer made contact that time, but you can see Chad Clarence is not close enough to get to the bumpers since he hit the wall.
So Jeff Wright was able to check out from this battle, and McWhorter still struggling with Philip Brewer for the 6th spot.
I don't know if Hatch was going to try to push McWhorter by or maybe take advantage himself. God, if I'm one of these guys, I think you just got to pit, take the undercut, and then play the defensive game. This is incredible that Brewer's been able to do this. Now, the tires are even. It's not like he has much older tires. Or they might have the same tires, actually. But he might even have
something
fresher
like 44.
tires.
He's got a little bit fresher tires than these guys behind him. But not by much. A 3-lap difference.
Throatcoat had a slide behind him. He was 9th. I think he hit the apron in 4, had to save it. So he's finally backed fully up. And you see now McWhorter's trying to game plan differently. He's going to try to get the run, maybe get to the outside of him out of 2, but Brewer shuts the door. He's going to go to the bottom.
Brewer hit the wall there on the exit. That will allow.
Finally. Had to do it there.
And a little early break that threw Brewer off of his line. Now Seth Hatchell's going to dive and cut the dog leg. Looks like he might get to the inside in 1 and 2.
I don't know if that was an early break or a little bit of a forearm shiver that Brewer gave him.
Sometimes you let guys know. 24, 09, 18. Still less than 0.2 of a second apart. Something's got to give here.
It might be the 09 who has
Oh,
to give.
contact!
Oh, I don't think he knew I don't think there was contact, actually. I think Martinez just didn't know he was going to run out of room. Here comes Chad Klinger. He's going to undercut. This is exactly what I thought would happen, so he's going to get the jump. Now, how long do those two want to wait to give him track position here? Because he's beat him. He'll probably get the lead, no doubt. Ray Massey just pit as well. But I think that's the right decision.
So that caution, that's what I want to go back to, that kind of jumbled this whole field up, put a lot of guys behind the 8 ball. You got a few of these cars that have struggled to get back towards the top 10, and a few that, you know, probably deserve to be in this top 3 are no longer in the picture for possibly winning this race. We're talking about gaps over 5 seconds.
Yeah, without another yellow for sure. All that jumble up, not delaying the restart, and just having so many wave rounds. I think even if the restart did get delayed, I don't know if these drivers would have been able to stay much closer, because I think the tire advantage has played a difference for Jeff Wright to be 5 seconds back. And you could just see those top 4 who were able to pit under caution. They just had such a big advantage, because most of those drivers who were still in the top 10, they restarted right next to the leaders. So it's just that fresher tire. It might have been only maybe 5 laps, but it definitely made a difference, and it pretty much made it a 3 to 4 car battle for this win on strategy.
Chad Klinger's back out here on the racetrack. Bailey Turner, Alec Martinez continued to tick away some laps. It's about 2 laps now that they've stayed out. And it showed no signs of coming down pit road.
Here comes a few more. Chuck Sweeting and Alex Bell pit from just inside the top 10. So this is pretty much around the halfway point of the run. If we go 100 laps to the end, this is pretty much cutting it in half for these guys.
What a long pit road here. Pit stalls actually don't even start until you get to about the portion of turns 3 and 4. Some of these guys don't have pit stalls until you get to the dog leg.
Yeah, it's definitely a very long pit road. I don't quite know why they made it that long, but it works. Who cares? It looks cool.
Well, back in the day, the start-finish line was actually at the exit of what is now turn 2. And so that's where pit road began. They've never really changed it.
They did make it. I think they made it go around the corner a little longer, I think.
Right. They extended, yeah, through that turns. I believe it would be what, 3 and 4, but it now goes all the way to the dog leg. Never used to be there.
Neither did the cactus.
Old. Yeah, neither. Yeah, the cactus. Well, they had plenty of those out here in the desert, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what I expected these top two to do after the 09 beat them to pit road, kind of just go long. And I don't think reacting to him was the right decision, because you just get pretty much even tires and he gets the track position. That wouldn't work out well. Their best bet is now to try to overcut him and hope that the fresher tires, they can run down the fresher tires with that 09 has, and get around him later in the run when their tires are fresher. So that's probably what they're hoping for now.
The battle for 9th position. Logan Threlkeld has Clark Ganeckin. Thought the 27 was going to get by him there, but made a little mistake on the brakes. I'm not really sure. He's kind of backing these corners up. You see the 15 on fresh tires to the inside.
I think he tried to cross him over, like get the higher entry and then get him on exit, but Threlkeld kind of shut that down. Seth Hatch will pit from 6th, so he's another front runner who's come down the pit. Top two stay out, as Martinez kind of hit the wall a little bit, but he kept it straight. 09's about to unlap himself here.
So here's the window for the 09, your pole sitter. I mean, right now, if we don't get a yellow, I think Chad Klinger could very easily go out and win this race. There's a big enough gap between him and the rest of this field that the only contenders that will probably be there, it's going to be Bailey Turner and Alec Martinez. And for every lap that goes by that they stay out, that's more ground they're going to have to make up on this 09.
Comes Angel Horonis. He just pit from the 3rd position. So here comes another round of stops. It looks like Ganeckin just pit from the 8th position in the Vegas Golden Knights Toyota Supra. And here comes Bailey Turner, race leader down.
Oh, I think he's good.
Keith
Shoemaker.
Shoemaker. I think McWhorter missed the pits. I think he was trying to pit, McWhorter was, and he drove right by after going way down on the apron. So that won't affect him. It might lose him some time on track. I don't know how much track position it'll lose him, though. You can see right here, I think he has thoughts of pitting, and then kind of just kept driving on. That was really weird. I don't think he was going to overshoot it, unless he just wasn't confident on the brakes. He'll come back down live. He will make it this time, I think. Oh, not too easily,
That's
though.
a slide.
Final pit stop of the season for him, perhaps. Could be the title-winning stop.
That's the money stop. I mean, this right here, you got to keep it together. This race is definitely looking like it's going to go green. You make a mistake here, heading you a lap down, that's bye-bye championship.
It almost certainly would be. It would put him so far behind, so I think he should be good. I think he tried to, as crazy as it sounds, I think he tried taking it somewhat careful, but he broke way early as Jeff Wright runs here. He did lead a lap somewhere and all that. I think it was when he was passing the pace car. I think he was passing the pace car. This is when he was passing the pace car in extra time when he wasn't supposed to, so I don't think they correct lap sled, so that should stand. It helps him, but if he if he won this race, it would need to be outside top 10 finish for a 73. So he needs a lot to go his way, and he's still waiting on his final pit stop. I wonder if he stretches this as long as he can, hoping for that yellow, as the race leader Martinez just came down, and Jeff Wright will get a legit lap lead.
Gonna go by here on the line, and now it's interesting to see where does McWhorter end up. Back here in 14th, he'll be a lap down for now, as the rest of this field will cycle out. I think Wright maybe kind of banking on a caution or something happening here.
I think this is his last stand. Labos in the wall a little bit, but I think this is his last stand. I think he knows unless something crazy happens, he catches people laps down, he's got to try something to win this title. So I think he's going to stay out as long as he can, keep the lead as long as possible. Don't know how. We saw drivers go over 60 laps on a tank earlier. Maybe he can go 70. We'll just have to see, but he doesn't have a lot of time left before he has to come down. Alec Martinez just came out of pit road. He comes out pretty far behind Bailey Turner. Bailey Turner is pretty far behind Chad Klinger. Klinger's out of turn 4. Bailey Turner's entering turn 3.
6.5 seconds is the deficit. Of course, so about 11 lap difference on the stint here. So Klinger's probably going to be a couple tenths off a lap, especially in that long run. But I think right now, the way it's all going to cycle out, Klinger will probably be the leader with about 30 to go.
we'll be starting
Let's
to
get
see
our
that gap.
V-speed calculator out, Connor.
When will the gap be broken, and when will Bailey get there? I don't know. He's 0.8 of a second faster that previous time by, but he was still 6 seconds back, and that gap will kind of get shorter. The difference between their times will get a little smaller as it evens out. And it'll get even smaller, I think, once the 24 has to deal with the 09s 30 air, as this is a mess in the turn number 1.
Yes, it is.
Ooh, that's for position between
That's
3 of
three
those
wide.
guys. Still 3 wide. Goodness.
Hold it together.
Ooh, Mahalski's giving him all the room he can. And they're still going to stay 3 wide. Caleb Weekly does not want to get stuck behind Throw. He's going to get squeezed. Goodness. Oh, they're going to hit. He just kind of decked him out of the way. He'll go on with his day. Jeff Wright, race leader, comes down the pit road. See if Stephen Davis comes down. Davis doesn't, so Stephen Davis is going to be the race leader, but Jeff Wright did not want to push any longer. Villalobos just really slow down the backstretch. I think he almost spun.
45 has a lot of damage on the back end of it as well. He's had a struggle here. He was running in the top 10 earlier in this race. He's now 2 laps down, back in 19th.
And Philip Brewer, who was running in that, he was in that battle for 5th or 6th. He has left the race, so I think he just had another slide. Villalobos, he's spinning. Villalobos is spun at a turn number 2,
That's
and
a
the
caution.
caution's out.
Yeah,
And
that's...
Jeff Wright had just made his stop. Oh, this might work out for him. I don't know.
He's going to stay on the lead lap. He's
Maybe.
right there. That's how close it was.
Yeah, Stephen Davis is behind him. He's going to stay on the lead lap. He might cycle to be the leader. That was weird, I will have to say. He slid the first time. I guess he just lost the back end, but this might work out for the 48. We'll just have to see how it sorts out again. Well, here you go. Villalobos kind of just spinning it out. I mean, iRacing sometimes isn't accurate, but at least from our view, he never turned the wheel right in an attempt to save it. So I'm sure that will be looked at. I would sure look at it if I was an admin. But Villalobos brings out the caution. This puts Stephen Davis in the race lead, and all these drivers are going to come down to pit road who were on the lead lap, including J.Mcwhorter, who was still lead lap. But this is definitely throwing a wrench at things. You can see right here, I mean, the wheel's either left or straight. I don't know what you make of that, but I'm not going to mince words.
I don't know what to say.
Maybe that's for the best. See who comes out of pit road. Stephen Davis does come out of pit road first. And got a lot of drivers taking the wave around, like Chuck Sweeting, Jerry Bergeron. Well, Jerry Bergeron might pit. They might pit for tires. Bryce Shoemaker might pit, but this might have put Jeff Wright in the race lead. We still don't know. We'll get the scoring corrected, and maybe we won't have a lot of wave rounds rushing at the last second. These are lap cars coming down the pit. I threw a wrench in things again.
We have a lot to unpack here, don't we, Connor?
I think so.
Well, let's
see what
do
iRacing
this.
Scores says.
Let's take a quick commercial break here on V-Speed while we try to figure this all out. You're watching the Saturday Night Racing League and their season finale for Season 2 at Phoenix Raceway. We're going to take a quick commercial. We'll be back right after this.
I gotta pee. Jeff is.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Introducing Tractor USA, the best way to buy and sell premium ag.
We're going to come back live here with Jeff Wright starting on the top position. J.Mcwhorter is back in 11th. This is right on the fringe here, but if Jeff Wright could get the victory as the green flag comes back out, McWhorter have a hard time back here. This could set up for that recovery that Jeff Wright needs. A lot of jumbling going on back here. 3 wide in turns 1 and 2.
If Jeff Wright was to win, he's not going to get the most laps led bonus. McWhorter would have to finish 11, or he would have to finish, I think, I'm trying to look, I think he would have to finish like to 11th or better. He needs to get back up at least to the top 10, and he should be fine. But he's in a whole mess of trouble right now.
That was the 12 of Logan Threlkeld there that checked him up. He falls back another position. The Hornet's nest of spots being gained. There's the 43 of Bryce Shoemaker that gets by. He's now to the inside for the 12th spot.
I think he needs 11th by my math, but that's obviously unofficial, but he needs to get going.
No need to fret just yet.
Oh, Bailey Turner just slammed the wall out of 4. I don't know if he and Martinez had contact, but he has a lot of right front damage now.
Back quickly on this replay. Take a look at this. Out of... Oh, that was actually a combination of the 03 as well, I think.
I think he just checked up trying to get it done. But meanwhile, we're back live. We're trying to look at Turner go up to the field, but we look at the battle for the lead. Jeff Wright's going to lose it. Not what he needs. Here comes Chad Klinger back to the front.
They're 3 wide deep back there as well. Stephon Davis on the outside. McWhorter's working his way back up now. He's up to 11th spot. This puts him back into that threshold that he needs to be in because Jeff Wright lost the lead. This is right on the fringe, though. Can't afford any mistakes.
Jeff Wright has fresh tires, too, but he just doesn't have the pace. He's going to fall back even more. I'm not sure why or how he's fallen back this much, even with fresh tires, but this is fading away as quickly as he got back into it.
A lot of the cars that are getting around him are very aggressive on the short run. Chad Klinger, of course, started on the pole. He's been kind of the class of the field for the first half of the race, got shuffled out.
Oh, you know
since
what?
He's refound that lead.
You know, I just realized, I just looked back on the replay. Jeff Wright, the reason he stayed on lead lap, he took 2 tires. That's why he's fading. He's on 2.
He thought that green, under green. I mean, that was his last go, his final stand.
Well, it's what he had to do to stay lead lap,
Right.
or else Stephen Davis would have lapped him. But he could have came down to elect to take his laps, but he didn't. Now he's fading because of it. Back to 9th position.
McWhorter's going to get by. This might be just the handover. Tough break there for Jeff Wright. Still a lot of racing left to go. Anything can happen as they go 3 wide through the dog leg. McWhorter's going to go by on the inside. We'll have 23 laps left. And this guy right here has been pretty dominant all race long. Looking to wrap it up with the most laps led. First place. Yeah. I mean, he did it. I mean, he's shown tonight he is the dominant car, and Chad Klinger is putting on a clinic here today.
He might end up leading over half the race, but he lost control of the race because of the first yellow. And Bailey Turner kind of had control. He undercut. He might have been able to gain control back, but all of a sudden, it's fallen back into his lap. He's able to restart at the front. He's able to get by Jeff Wright on the 2 tires. And now he's got Mahalski behind him, who's up into 2nd for the first time tonight, trying to chase him down, but just doesn't have the speed to do it. And now one of his closest competitors of the night, Bailey Turner, with a lot of right side damage, as well as Martinez, who can't get through him, can't get past him. So working out really well for the 09 currently.
Looking like a top 3 day possibly for Noah Michalski. He's shown a lot of speed at various racetracks and top 5 days for him at best, but there was a race, I believe, at the early part of the season that just got away from the 03. I don't know why I'm recollecting on this. It might have been last season. The 03 had a real good shot to win a race, but ended up having to come down pit road with a few laps left in the race. Couldn't stretch the run far enough to make it to the end.
He's definitely going to have the fuel to make it tonight. It's just a wet matter of does he have the car under him. It just doesn't seem like he has enough to catch. He was maybe a little bit faster than the 09 the previous lap, but we're coming to 19 laps to go, and that gap is still over 0.6 of a second, so not looking very good. Meanwhile, J.Mcwhorter, exactly what he needs to do, top 10, and he's got it, and he's doing a great job of that right now.
Just has to keep it shiny side up. Don't pop the engine. That's probably the only scenario here where Jeff Wright ends up with the championship is Mcwhorter gets into a heavy incident. It just hasn't been Jeff Wright's day. Everything that he's pulled strategy-wise to try to outdo or outwit the 73 team, he's just been quietly running his race, keeping it in the top 10, hasn't been pushing for anything beyond the means. He just needs to come out here and have a solid day. That's what he's doing.
That's exactly what he's done. He was top 5 earlier. He's kind of been hanging top 10 since the first caution came out, kind of shuffled things up with the wave around, but he's doing a solid job trying to recover for at least a decent finish on top of the title. Want to finish well when you win the title, usually, and he's still trying to get around the 43 of Bryce Shoemaker. Can't quite pull it off just yet. As Bryce came in tonight 8th in the points. Don't know if he's going to pass Max Cost. It's going to be a little bit close for that, as Cost runs in the 17th position. And as far as 3rd in the title, Joshua Mack's not here. Alex Bell, he needed maybe a
Max
12th
Cost
place.
just about lost it there in front of Villalobos, and that was a moment out of turn 2. Go back and watch that on the replay, but he shot down to the inside. They were all loose coming out of the corner. Back it up one more time from the blip camera.
Note that. I think Alex Bell, if he gets 14th or better, he's got 3rd place in the title. As long as Chuck Sweden doesn't outpoint him. And yeah, that looked like trying to turn off the wall and also not hit Jerry Berger on there.
There's the gap from the lead back to the 03 of Noah Michalski. Bailey Turner a couple tenths back. He has heavy damage. Alec Martinez, it's about 4 tenths separating everybody here in the top 5. Go back here to Alex Bell challenging for the 5th spot on Ray Massey. What a split here. These cautions have shaken up this race at the worst possible times. They've happened right at pit stops both times. And so it's really flip-flopped this field several different occasions, but Chad Klinger, who didn't benefit from it the first time, now ends up in a great spot from the second one.
Yeah, Alex Bell, because of his internet, he was down the order really. That was really why he was down the order. Hopefully, knock on wood. I have wood in front of me. It's a wooden desk, but hopefully it doesn't act up for him in these final 13 laps, because like I said, he's looking at 3rd in the championship if he can hold on to this right now.
This guy that probably had the qualifying and speed to be in the top 12 here in the final few races. Unfortunately didn't make that chase cut, but he's proven today that he deserved to be up there and have a green spoiler. He'll come by for 11, 12 laps to go. Guy Klinger, Sherwin-Williams 09. Doesn't have any challengers right now. Noah Michalski starting to trim that lead away a little bit here. I don't know if it would write home just yet, because last time by it was only about, what are we looking at? Six hundredths of a second is not even, yeah, it's really nothing. Minuscule, and that could just be Chad pacing himself to keep it together.
He's gotten it back under 0.6 of a second at points. Just not able to make big enough gains. He's gonna need to gain a lot more at this point in the run. Alex Bell still trying to get back into that top 5 position. Trying to clear Ray Massey. Got the nose in front at the line. He's just gonna slide up in front of him into turn number 1. And here's Angelo Horonis. He's another one trying to recover. He's been top 5 this entire race, minus maybe a handful of laps, and he's having to try to fight back into top 5. But he might come up a spot short if he can't get Massey and Bell. He's going to maybe give the bumper to the 23 a little bit, then shoot under him.
Hometown victory would be for Chad Klinger. No, Michalski looking like this race could just lock up for the top 3. Pass back here, still Ray Massey, Angelo Aronis are all over that Seth Hatchell that just tagged the wall out of the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, he hit it pretty good. Didn't really hurt him that much.
Let's go back here and talk about these two cars right here. They're only a couple positions apart, but McWhorter has no reason to press the issue. He's just going to sit quietly with no traffic around him. He's got gaps on both sides. Smart racing here as you look back off the rear end. Bryce Shoemaker about half a second apart, and then up here, you do have a battle in front of him, but McWhorter letting that stay up ahead of him. He doesn't want to get involved in any of that. Take a chance getting spun out as we approach 7 to go.
Once again, like we saw earlier with the battle between the 44, 48, 73, that driver on the inside tries to make the pass, can't make it work, and then the driver trailing the car that's slower, slowing everyone up, just makes the pass work. Now it's Hatchell trying to go to the inside. Now it's going to be Heronis probably trying to pass him back. At the same time, Ray Massey just no speed right now. Alex Bell's checked out. He's actually closing in on Alec Martinez for the 4th position, as that battle for the lead kind of lengthens back out to about 6, 7/10 of a second.
Michalski was shaving away a little bit of that. 6/10. I think right now Chad Klinger just saving the tires, keeping that gap maintained. He's very close to 5 laps to go, and you know this guy, he's been in very similar situations. But this one probably hits a little bit different. He's probably not nervous about this one. He's shown that he has the speed to keep these guys at bay, and right now nobody even challenging on speed and pace. This one's going to go to the 0-9, but you got to watch out, though. I mean, anything can happen back here. Eddie Trejo and Chuck Sweeting, they're going to go side by side. You go deeper in this field, there's still some guys that have positions up for grabs. We're looking at lap down cars right now for 19th through 21st. These guys could very much be racing for a lucky dog spot. Jerry Bergeron is leading that right now. 5 laps to go into this race. You know some guys are going to throw some Hail Marys before the end of this one.
Yeah, Chuck Sweeting, not bad luck to the point where he's crashed yet, but must have gotten trapped a lap down. Maybe had a penalty on the green. He's a lap down. He was running top 10. He will finish maybe inside the top 20. So it's kind of fallen apart for him as of late. Michalski has kept that lead pretty much where it is. He actually did close in maybe 2/10 since we last checked in. So closed in a little bit. Still not in striking distance, but giving it one last gasp effort in the final race of the season. Only 4 laps left, 4 miles left in the season. Alex Bell has gotten to the bumper of Alec Martinez. Don't know if he'll be able to get by that other Supra in time. And Andrew Heronis is still working on Ray Massey, as J.Mcwhorter is only now 3 laps away coming to it.
If I'm McWhorter, I'm just going to back out of this. I'm going to back this up. Let these
week.
guys race. Yeah, I'm just going to let them go. Let them do their thing. No reason to get racing up here with 3 laps left. You've got the championship, but you pop an engine, it's gone.
I doubt he's even shifting. I wouldn't be shifting.
Oh, I just mean if somebody makes a mistake and takes him out, you know, that's what's on my mind right now.
Got 2 laps to go. Once again, Michalski trimmed that gap down even more. It's just, I don't think he's pushing in time. It looked like maybe he was trying to save the tires for one last run, but I don't think he has enough time to get there to actually make a move on the 0-9. A little too far back, as I think the 15 just tried putting the bumper to the 18. And all McWhorter's thinking about now is that y'all better keep it green. 2 yellows is enough. Let's keep it green. Let's see that white flag. And I think he's going to see it right here.
Yes, he will. It's going to be official here tonight for the final race of the Saturday Night Racing League Season 2. Chad Klinger comes across the start-finish line into turns 1 and 2 with a massive lead. Noah Michalski under fire from Bailey Turner, making a final charge. With this first time for everything, right? New champion and a new winner this season, the 0-9 of Chad Klinger. Off of turn 4, he will be victorious tonight at Phoenix. And officially your champion of Season 2. Not to overshadow this win, but the 73 of Joseph McWhorter is going to be your Season 2 champion.
What a drive. What a chase run for McWhorter. Very, very, very deserving title. Jeff Wright's going to give him the congratulations he deserves. What a great title battle that was. Likely going to end in maybe about a 20-point gap. McWhorter got the finishes that mattered when he needed to get the finishes. He's going to deservingly do burnouts on the front straightaway. Should do dual burnouts. Let's see if they do some dual burnouts. Finger's going to burn it up at the Geico restart zone. McWhorter's going to go down to the start-finish line. It's kind of how it happened in real life. I think Ross did his burnouts down there when he won the race.
So congratulations to Chad Klinger on the first victory and a dominant performance. And congratulations to this guy. Joseph McWhorter took over the points lead with 2 races left. Sealed the deal here tonight. 15-point gap. He will finish on top. Jeff Wright just short of it. A couple different opportunities for the 48 tonight. But the 73 kept his head, kept his race together, and ultimately prevails to be your champion. Now Chad Klinger blowing up the engine. He did it right. He did it right. This race interviews with your top 3 and your champion. We will pull up into the booth. We've got a little bit of unpacking to do here for all the action that came to us here from Phoenix. You're watching the Saturday Night Racing League live on V-Speed. More coverage will continue momentarily.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs.
From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items.
Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Introducing Tractor USA, the best way to buy and sell premium ag and construction equipment. Tractor USA was designed to be straightforward, simple, and affordable with zero commission and live auctions every week. Tractor USA auctions offer the finest selection of pre-owned tractors, combines, and other ag and construction equipment from across the United States and the world. Simply go to tractorusa.com to get started today.
Well, it was a good show here tonight to conclude the entirety of this season. 20 races, 160 laps for the final one. Saturday Night Racing League Season 2 has crowned their champion, Joseph McWhorter. Finished 9th here today. He bested Jeff Wright by about 20 points to finish out the season. But let's take you to your final results up on the screen. Chad Klinger, in a dominant race, started on the pole. He led the most laps. He will be the first win of the season and victorious at Phoenix. Noah Michalski, first top 3, I believe, for the 03 this season. He will finish in 2nd. Bailey Turner comes home in 3rd. Alec Martinez, after starting all the way back in 22nd, is going to get a top 5. Alex Bell, with all the connection issues he had here today in the final race, will finish in the top 5. It's Seth Hatchell in 6th position. Called it there on the top 10 car for the 8. Angelo Horonis in 7th. Ray Massey in 8th. Your Season 2 champion, J.Mcwhorter in 9th. And Bryce Shoemaker will round out the top 10.
All was needed tonight for that 73 was 9th place, and he got it done. Stephen Davis, he had struggles lap 1. He's going to finish 11th. Jeff Wright, he did everything he could strategy-wise, but he didn't have the speed to win this race. And the 2-tire call did not work. He finishes 12th and 2nd in the championship. Austin Belke, 13th. Logan Threlkeld in the 14th position. Clark Enecken, didn't talk about him much, but he finishes 15th. Last driver on the lead lap, Caleb Weekly finishes in the 16th position, and don't know where he'll finish in the championship, but he came in tonight 6th. I don't know if he had enough to pass Chuck Sweeting. 17th place, Jerry Bergeron. Max Cost, 18th position. Chuck Sweeting got trapped a lap down, 19th. And Eddie Trejo brought out the first yellow of the night in the 20th position, a lap down.
Few of these cars more than 1 lap down, but we'll go with Casey Lakatos 1 lap down here tonight, 21st position. Bobby Petrika in 22nd. 23rd, Keith Shoemaker. Julio Villalobos, who struggled a lot here tonight, 24th. Brandon Wallace, 25th. And Philip Brewer, who was up in the top 10 a lot of this day. I'm not quite sure what happened to Philip, but he ends up 38 laps down. He'll be the last car on this field after tonight. And yeah, I don't know what happened to him, Connor, but must have had an issue maybe on pit road, or I'm not entirely sure.
Can you cut live just real quickly to show what Alec Martinez has done to J.Mcwhorter? He's made sure to push him into the real victory lane. This is might be one of the few tracks you can actually go in the victory lane, and he's finally actually gotten the 73 into the real victory lane. So that's cool to see, at least. Albeit no front and rear bumper. It took that much effort.
Car was just sitting out on the racetrack, and Alec Martinez made sure to get that car up there. So there it is. We need
some lights.
Yeah.
There's no lighting. You see there's a one table to the right of him, past the victory lane. The cam hovering over saw it. That's a DirecTV satellite dish over there.
Well,
Still all half the time.
Let's go back this thing up a little bit, because I mean, we have a few things that we need to cover. The post-race, the pre-race. There were so many things coming in here tonight, and the 15-point deficit that we talked about just prior. There was moments in this race where, especially in that last restart, that Jeff Wright had a chance. But because of those 2 tires, and if you're questioning that Jeff Wright pitted during green flag pit stops, and in kind of a final stand effort to make up time on the 73 and maybe get a victory, he took 2 tires, and the yellow came out as he came down pit road.
I almost want to think that he took. I really think he took 2 tires. It could have been a strategy call, just a last-ditch effort, but I really think the main reason he took 2 tires was to make sure he stayed on the lead lap. I think if he takes 4 tires there, Stephen Davis was going to lap him, so he really had no choice at that point. But it ended up working out all right for him, as you could see right here. This was Mcwhorter to the inside, and this was one of his moves he had to make, but it was not a championship-winning move. He was just running exactly where he needed to be. This was his last pass of the season, getting Bryce Shoemaker for 9th.
Yeah, and that's Jeff Wright just behind him, that had fallen through the field because of those 2 tires. He went from first position all the way back to about 13th there at one point, and it went up 12th. But yeah, I mean, just a strategy that, Joseph knew what he needed to do coming into this race. Jeff had to kind of throw some Hail Marys and absolutely win. And this is one of those tracks that you don't see Jeff Wright dominate. And so that's a scenario that Jeff had to try to overcome all race long, that he's not one of the fastest cars here on this racetrack. And ultimately he ends up, 7 spots down trying to do that. So Joseph ran his own race, didn't pay too much attention, although they did seem like the 73 was stalking Jeff for a lot of this race. But I don't think he bought in too much to what Jeff was trying to do, and he stuck to his strategy. And that right there, I think, is what got him the championship tonight.
Pretty much all he needed tonight, and it definitely played a factor. And I think it really helped Mcwhorter that we didn't go to another 1.5 miles or just a big track, because that's been Jeff Wright's domain. That's why he has about 11 wins in this series. A lot of them primarily at the bigger tracks, but he's not. I don't think he's really comfortable at a track like this, where it's just not shorter tracks just aren't his domain. He's fast, but he's not able to really dominate like he usually does. And I think that played into McWhorter's hands because it was a much more even playing field up against the 48 tonight.
So with that, we will take you trackside now. Connor, you have caught up with Bailey Turner, your third place finisher here tonight at Phoenix. Take it away.
Yep, I got Bailey Turner, another third place finish for him, another top 3 finish for you, Bailey. You've kind of been rolling at the end of a season with the top 3 finishes. Obviously not in the chase this season, but obviously you were very fast all season, but just couldn't get one more victory, although you're in contention for it. Were you happy to see that yellow, or was that pretty much the end of your chances, you think?
Yeah, I mean, that was the end of it for sure. And I pitted there, in laps or so after Chad. I figured he was going to have like a 15 to 20 second lead just based on the tire fall off. But I came out of pits and he was only 8 seconds ahead, and I knew I was going to be in a pretty good spot there and was tracking him down, half a second or more a lap. And just the untimely yellow. I mean, I can't be too upset with it just because, the untimely yellow early in the race got me the lead. So obviously it kind of all balanced out there, and Chad kind of got his track position back, and he had really good long run pace there. I struggled a lot into turn 1, and I don't really have a good understanding yet of this version of Phoenix. We've all run so much of that older version that I think we all kind of knew what we needed to do, but the apexes and just how you kind of get around this place is a little bit different. So unfortunate, but yeah, like you said, top 3. I don't even know how many weeks in a row I feel like it's been, and kind of kicking myself just a little bit just because I gave up my chase spot, and who knows, I don't know what the points would have ended up like, but I felt like I would have been right up there with Jeff and Joseph. But yeah, unfortunately, had to miss a week and didn't want to be selfish and try to let somebody else in.
And you certainly did the right thing, and I will give you the stat. I believe that's 4 straight weekends, 4 straight weekends with top 3 finishes, 5 straight weeks with top 5 finishes. So you've definitely been on a roll in the playoffs besides in the chase, besides missing a race. You led 55 laps, and obviously it's kind of a topic of discussion coming in tonight. Phoenix, the track, the way it was rescanned, whatever is different about it, it seems really, really hard to pass. Did you... Because we didn't see a lot of bump and runs, but it definitely looked like it was a struggle for drivers to pass. I think it took champion McWhorter, it took him maybe 20, 30 laps to pass Philip Brewer. How many laps did it take to even line up one move for position?
I mean, honestly, I'm like trying to look back at it, and I really don't even know if I actually passed anybody for position there. Starting P2 and followed Chad there for the first bit of the race, and really felt like he was pushing harder than I thought you needed to. So I kind of let him go. I let Jeff go, and thought I was going to settle in. But McWhorter had really good run, good pace that first run. So I had to go a bit defensive and kind of burn my stuff up. But yeah, I don't know if I honestly passed anybody for position there other than, just being up front all day. So, you can't be too upset, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, I completely agree. It was, you trapped in an air bubble about a tenth or two behind a guy for an entire run, and it just kills the right front. I know Chad was struggling with that behind me, and, pretty much anybody that was following me is the leader. So, yeah, not much else to say beyond, congrats to Joseph. He ran a great season thanks to you guys up in the booth and all the sponsors that came on the season and, made it what it is. It's pretty fun to come out here on Saturday nights, and, there's so much good talent in this league that it's really fun every week because there's always, new players in the mix and, Noah coming in there with the P2 and stuff like that. So, yeah, overall, just happy to be here.
Yeah, Bailey Turner. Yeah, I was going to ask you who you want to shout out. You pretty much shout out everyone there. So another good race for you. 5 straight top 5s, 4 straight top 3s end the season. But in points, we'll consider you the best of the rest. But either way, a great season for you with the victory earlier in the season. Congratulations on another solid season, another top 3. Thanks for talking to us. We'll see you soon.
Appreciate it, boys.
All right, and that's Bailey Turner. I was going to mention it to him, but I actually forgot to because I'm great at broadcasting. He had the 3rd most top 5s, tied for the 2nd most top 5s this season with Joshua Banks, and 5th most top 10. So a very consistent season. If he could have ran the entire season, who would have known? He could have been a title contender tonight. But another top 3 for him and Bradley Cooper. We got more drivers to get to. You have maybe a little bit of a surprising runner-up in Noah Mahalski. Big run for him. Bradley's got him down there.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's surprising. The guy did start in 3rd position. What was surprising is how you fell out of the top 5, Noah. You kind of faded out really quick and early in this race, but flip-flops on the strategy because those cautions fell during pit stop cycles, I think kind of took you out of contention. And then the exact same thing happens, puts you right back in a good spot, and you were able to hold on. Great drive out there, Noah. And I think this is the first time in SNR that we've had you up here in this season in the broadcast booth. So what a way to really end the season here. I know you were in the top 12. You kind of had a quiet end to the season, but this is good for the start of the next one.
Yes, sir. I don't know, kind of at the beginning of that race, we dropped back, I think back to like 8th, and we raced back up to 5th, and I thought we were pretty fast. Then we pitted, and that caution came out and did not help us one bit. And then we went green before we were caught back up with the field, so we were kind of just fighting with it after that. And then decided, hey, we don't got anything to lose. Let's stay out. I mean, I think I had a lap and a half left of fuel when the caution came out, but it worked perfectly. But I mean, sucks for Jeff. I was rooting for him. I was kind of going slow on the restart because I know he was racing for the championship and everything. And then Chad got by, and then I saw Jeff was slow like 3 laps later. I'm like, oh, I probably better get going then. And it was just playing catch up from there on out. And I feel like I probably could have won this race, but I being too conservative on that last restart.
Yeah, Jeff actually had got 2 tires there when they pitted during green flags. So, I mean, it's just a weird scenario. You don't really know what that all panned out. He just ends up resuming the lead because of where that caution fell. And it was a weird scenario. But no, I mean, conservative or not, you really put on a good show there at the end. You were shaving away a little bit of the lead on Chad. There was times where you take a lot, but the car maybe just fading out there at the end of the race. It's really rubbered up racetrack. It's kind of difficult. Outside of that, though, Noah, you showed a lot of speed. Top 3 in qualifying. You were fast in practice. You've been fast all season. What are you looking forward to most? We're going to go here season 2. Does this put you in the right mindset going into the season 3?
Well, over the past 2 years, I think this is the first time I've ever finished inside the top 3. So yeah, definitely. Hope we can just continue it forward. Maybe get a win. Hopefully, we're not up here in the booth and second and third a lot. I'd rather be first, but you never know how it plays out.
Well, outside of that, Noah, you've got a list of people that support you and they're a part of the team, and this is the last and final race of the season, so perfect time for you to thank all those people.
I'd like to thank, my roommate and my lovely girlfriend for watching races every week. They're normally rooting for Jeff because he's a little bit faster than me, but they're still watching, rooting on for me. All my teammates. I mean, I've been with Max. I've seen him develop, and he was cheering me on those last 20, 30 laps, telling me to go win. Told him I was going to try my best, and it's been fun racing with Caleb and Julio these last couple weeks, and then Bryce as well. Also got to thank AutoZone, sponsoring the car the whole season. Great gig we got going on there. Hopefully the parts continue to last.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's about it, really.
Neon Auto Racing, shout out Noah Michalski, second place, first top 3. Did it in good fashion and a great performance. Congrats, buddy, and we look forward to next season for you.
All right. Thank you. Real quick, do I got permission to use my thingy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. It was a great season. Hope to see you all next season. Take care.
All right. He's been waiting to push that button a long time, so we get a copyright strike. I don't even care. It's worth it. Thank you, Noah.
Yep, thank you.
That's second place finisher here tonight with the outro music, Noah Michalski. And finally, that brings us to our winner. Well, not finally, but that brings us to our winner, Chad Klinger. We also have a champion to talk to. And Connor Horn, you have the 09 race winner in a dominant performance in Victory Lane.
Alternate victory lane. 7-3 is in real victory, and I got Chad Klanger at the start-finish line where he is still parked, I believe. So Chad, race win, talked to you pre-race. He had the pole, and you knew the track position was going to be important. Ended up working out for you. There were definitely some bumps on the road. First bump in your race I had to talk about was the first caution. You pit in, I guess, an open pit, but pace car hadn't gotten out there. How were you rattled at all when that happened? Because it really kind of threw you off. It looked like it kind of threw you off a little bit, and you obviously got put in dirty air. So, how did you respond to that?
Yeah, it was just a weird situation because it told me to let the pace car pass, but I was already almost to the entrance of pit road. So at that time, I was kind of slowing down for the pace car. But then all of a sudden, pit road opened, so I kind of had to turn it hard left to get down to the commitment line. So I made it, but at that time, it kind of black flagged me for passing the pace car at that point. But they cleared it, and we all went our ways. But other than that, it was a really good first stint. I held the lead, and I kind of extended it because usually short pitting for me has been bad, and it was at the end of the race that it showed. But yeah, it went well the first run.
Yeah, definitely went well for you. Obviously, you had the restart in a little bit behind Bailey Turner, couldn't get around him. Then the short pit, you had the lead. Then the yellow came out, and then you restart behind the 48 of Jeff Wright. Obviously, we had the title fight going on, but obviously you're still in the fight for the win. Were you surprised to see him in the lead? Did you even know his tire issue? Do you know his tire status, or how were you anticipating that restart?
I didn't know what he was on. I assumed he was either on no tires, two tires, or didn't pit, because he got the lucky dog. I think the last caution before, because of the pit cycle, or maybe it was that one. But yeah, it was a crazy restart. Luckily, I had the inside line for the restart, so I could make it 3 wide if need be, and it kind of worked out getting to the inside of Noah. Other than that, after I passed him, Jeff kind of fell back because he was on, I assumed 2 tires. And then from there, it was just pushing to the end of the race to get to the start finish line and checkered flag.
Yeah, definitely got that checkered flag, and obviously we saw all race long. No one could pass you when you were in the lead, and then once you got behind Bailey Turner, it almost seemed like you got close, but just couldn't make that pass work. Did it take you? Did you even? I don't even know how many people you would have passed tonight because Bailey Turner came up and told us he doesn't think he made an on-track pass. Did you? Do you remember making an on-track pass, and how long did it take to set up if you did?
I think there's only true on track pass was I think Hronis one restart in the race. Other than that, it was mainly just pit stops, gaining track position from that, passing people on older tires. But yeah, it was hard to pass tonight with this track. It got rubbered in real well, so there were only really one lane. You couldn't really go side by side because if you did, someone would either pinch you down and have you lift off, and the other guy would just go right on by on the outside. So it was essentially a one groove track. You kind of had to be nice about it. If you weren't, you could have gotten into the wall. But yeah, overall, it was a really good race.
Definitely good race for you, leading over half the race, pretty much dominating this one end to end with your first and your one victory this season to close out. Chad, congratulations to you. Anyone you want to thank, shout out, congratulate, anything like that.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the admin team, Jeff, myself, Reggie, Bryce, and Brian. We've done a really good job this season. It's sad to see it close out, but we are looking towards the future and the next season, and we're still thinking about possibly doing a short track season in between, just to have everybody together still. But yeah, it's been a really great season. I'm glad I could get a win this season and get the final win. I'd also like to thank Sherwin-Williams. They've had my backs for about 8 years now. I can't thank them enough. I'd like to thank my parents as well. They've been supporters the whole season, throughout my life. Actually, I went and did a burnout where our seats were at, so they could get a good look at it. So it was kind of bittersweet at that.
It may be a little bittersweet, but you still go out on an incredibly high note. Congratulations on the win to close out the season, Chad. Thanks for talking to us, and we'll see you next season, and we'll see you soon enough at that.
Thank you. You guys have a good off season.
You as well. That's going to wrap things up as far as our top three, but we still got the big winner of the night. I had the race winner of the night. We got the championship winner. J.Mcwhorter won the Season 2 title. He's in the real victory lane at Phoenix. Bradley Cooper's down there in the celebration, getting the talk to the 73.
Congratulations, J.Mcwhorter. We had aimed to bring you up pre-race, but we thought we need to keep this guy focused, and that's exactly what you did here tonight. You paid zero attention to what the 48 was doing, and relatively, you paid zero attention to what everyone else was doing in this race. After all the mix-ups and the cautions falling during green flag pit stops, you always found your way back ahead of the 48 team to make sure you locked this thing up. Congratulations on an excellent season and becoming Season 2 champion. And he might be AFK. He might be in celebration mode, Connor. It sounds like his mic is muted. Am I losing him here? Okay, let's try this again. I can hear you now. There we go. That
Okay.
might be on me. There we go.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I wouldn't say that we didn't focus on Jeff. All of our strategy tonight was based on what Jeff did.
I saw
Oh,
you
man.
stalking him there a lot of the race. You were behind him. I said Jeff needed to file a restraining order because you were right behind him for the first 80 laps.
Yeah, I wanted to get around Bailey. I wanted to try and, go race for the win, but I was having trouble getting around him. So Brantley just made the call of like, hey, brother, just, think big picture here and just kind of ride. So, we took a break and rode behind him and cooled our tires a little bit. We were going to make another run at it, but as soon as we started making another run on the 24, the 48 pit, so we're like, all right, pit. So it was just, man, it's, I was joking with Chad earlier. I'm trying to not. I don't want to cry during the interview because, like, for a lot of people, I know that sounds dumb, but this means a lot to me.
We'll hold it together and let's go through the entirety of this season. You had a start that was a little rocky at times. We can go back to talk about that race at Chicago. We can talk about there was a variety of instances where the 73 team was fast, but things just got away. You were able to recover, though, when it counted the most. And right there, when J Wright finally makes a mistake, you're right there to capitalize on it. Let's go through all of that. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, the season started off really rough. I mean, we got caught in that lap 2 crash at Daytona, and, we rebounded after fixing the car, drove ourselves all the way back to the front, looked like we had a shot to win, and internet takes us out. We go to Homestead, we run mediocre all day. Rockingham run top 5 the whole race. Internet kills us again. Richmond kind of mediocre. And it wasn't until I think Dover was kind of the turning point where we started to find some speed. We got ourselves into it. I kind of choked that one away against Alec, but because I didn't cover the high side like a moron. And then we go to Chicagoland. It looks like I have a shot to win again, and choked that one away. And then we won Bristol, which was awesome. That we came back from 3.5 minutes of damage, and we ended up winning that one. And then it seemed like that was the real big turning point for the rest of the season, and we started rattling off really good finishes. We finished. I think the worst finish for the rest of the regular season was, I think, Kansas. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I mean, we really just turned it around, and I got myself out of whatever funk I was in. I finally figured out what I needed to do, and got myself back together for the championship run.
We talk about season 1 where you were a contender in a lot of those races, and some of the same luck struck with the 73 team, but this season able to overcome all of that. You put it all together, and it's good to know that J Wright is human, that he can be beaten, and it took the 73 car to do it. That's an excellent job here. I mean, Joseph, the race here tonight, you said you didn't pay much attention to, where you paid a lot of attention to what Jeff was doing, but ultimately, big picture, you come into this race knowing what you need to do. Outside of that, I mean, were the nerves there? Was there anything else that you had a goal? I mean, you've kind of done it all here to put it all in the season, but was there anything else that you could have done to top this off?
I mean, the only thing that would have been great was win in the final race. I mean, that's kind of the only thing. I mean, but it took a lot. Brantley really took some time before the race and helped me because I was full of anxiety really bad because we've been this close so many times and had things happen either in the final race, and we finished second. I think I've finished second in points, I think double digit times. I think like 10 or 12 times over the years since I've joined the league or joined iRacing. And it's just, I owe a lot to iRacing. God dang it.
There it is.
Yeah, it's coming. I owe a lot to iRacing. I mean, if it wasn't for iRacing, I wouldn't have any of my friends, my teammates. Damn it. Pardon my language. Like my best friend John, he, getting to go to Daytona together and race in real life, that was a dream come true. It's just it's kind of like the icing on the cake, I guess, and to do it in this is probably one of the toughest leagues to be in, and I've been in some really tough leagues over the years, and man, it just I owe so many things to so many people it's just it's hard it's hard to thank everybody and keep the emotions in check, but I've got an amazing team. I've got amazing partners. We have an amazing group of drivers in this. Friends, family, everybody. It's just sorry, I'm trying to get myself back together here. But it also was really cool getting to see a couple weeks ago that Michael Contney shared that thing from a couple years ago whenever I first started on iRacing, and AJ AJ said, "Man, if only he could see where you are now and getting to talk with Connie and stuff like that, and it's just been a hell of a year. It's incredible."
Totally relatable, Joseph. I mean, it's almost surreal at times, the people that you meet and all the stories and the group of people that you can end up surrounding yourself with. And I think you picked a great league to come in here and be a contender and put it all together for a championship. Great group of guys. I've enjoyed every second of Saturday Night Racing League, watching you out there and watching Jeff and Joshua, Noah. I mean, the list goes on and on. Chuck, all these guys and Chad tonight with the victory. There's so many things. The story that it will continue in season 3. If you had to, quantify all of this, there's really no price that you could put on the quality of people and the racing that goes on here. You're going to make me tear up. So, Joseph, congratulations on the championship, my guy. And we will see you in season 3. Before we let you go, I know you were shouting some people out, but one last time here before we let you go.
Yeah, just I want to say that, no matter how bad things get, and I was at a really bad place before coming into iRacing, but I owe everything to iRacing. I want to thank Red Camera Racing. They've been an awesome partner of mine. Go check them out. Racewear, workwear, harpoondesign.com. Brantley doing an awesome job spotting the night. He's got a metric buttload of paint schemes that he puts out there every single week with the real life stuff and sim stuff and everything. I want to thank you guys for everything you guys do. You guys are fantastic. This league's a fantastic. You guys just amplify that. I don't know why I'm so emotional. I don't get it. You guys are awesome. Love you guys to death. My friends, family, my girlfriend's mom that cheers me on every week. Driven Motorsports, Mark, who couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately. John couldn't be here. He was working at Bowman Gray. I love all you guys. Thank you for everything you guys do. And man, if anybody's watching that's looking for a league, this is the place to be. I'm telling you, this place is amazing. It's amazing people. It's amazing broadcast. I want to see this league grow even more.
We appreciate that, Joseph, and I think we're all on the same page with that. And yeah, tears of joy is what we're gonna go with here. And Joseph, congratulations. It'll sink in, man. It's just gonna get deeper and deeper here, but appreciate your time and all the effort that you put in, the compliments, and all the things that you've done this season. Congrats on the season 2 championship. Go flex now and put it in the trophy case.
I need a beer.
Yes, agreed. Very
I'll
much
see you guys
agreed.
later. Thank you so much. I don't know if I'll be here for season 3, but we got real life racing. But thank you. We can't thank you guys at V Speed enough. So thank you very much.
Much appreciated. We can't thank you guys enough here. And we got one last thing to talk about here before we let you guys all go. I know, Connor, I'm keeping you a little bit past that midnight mark, but there's one last thing that we got to talk about here. And we're going to pull Jeff Wright up into the broadcast booth. We've got a couple things to talk about, some scheduling and, a Challenger Series. And we plugged that briefly there during some green flag pit stops. But Jeff, another successful season, a new champion. You put it all together. Got another great recipe for season 3.
Yeah, man. First off, just a huge shout out to Joseph on the championship. I could tell in that interview how much this really means to him. It's awesome to have a guy in this league like Joseph who's so supportive of this league. It takes a lot to make this thing happen. So, from all the admins, all the sponsors, and everybody that makes this possible, it just shows how much he appreciates all of that. And we appreciate that he is so appreciative of all the hard work that it takes to do this. So big congrats to Joseph on winning the championship tonight. How about Chad Klinger, hometown hero, coming out winning the final race of the season? So awesome for Chad to win in his home state here. But yeah, like you mentioned earlier, we got some exciting things coming up for next season. We got the Challenger Series, which is going to be coming. So it's going to be an iRating capped series. So, as much as all these guys in here, they talk about they love the Saturday night racing, well, we're about to get some more of it. And we're super excited to bring you guys the SNR Challenger Series, looking to start mid-August. So we hopefully get those schedules released here soon. So the Challenger Series is going to be alongside the main Cup Series. It's going to be taking place about 2 hours before the main SNR event. So if you're interested in that, we got a registration link in our Discord. I don't know if we got it in the video description of this broadcast. Okay, well, it's there as well. So if you guys are interested in the Challenger Series, it's an iRating cap series. The iRating limit, it's to be determined right now. So if you're unsure if you're going to be eligible for it, go ahead and just register. And if you are, we'll let you know. But if you're maybe a little too high of iRating, we might not have you in there. We might just keep you in the main series. Somebody as good as Joseph, we're probably not going to let them be in that Challenger Series, so, but yeah, man, what a season. So much fun this year. And obviously we can't wait to get things kicked off again, hopefully, here in mid-August, and super excited to have V-Speed back on board. That's going to be great.
We're super excited as well. And at the partner in crime, excuse me, my voice is gone. And Connor Horn has been here since season 1. We've enjoyed every second of it. Again, the Contender Series link will be in the description. It's in the description right now if you're interested in that. And then, even carry on from that as well. If you are over that, there's still, plenty of room. There's plenty of room here on the main series on Saturday nights. Come in. They're going to have a little off season here. Say hello. Come in, introduce yourself, get some racing. We got plenty of practices. They're always putting rooms up or joining the hosted. And Jeff, phenomenal job here. And Chad and Bryce, I'm probably missing a few people on that list. The admin team that put this all into motion every single week. But keep it up. We're enjoying it. I think the fans are enjoying it. We had a great turnout here. I think my chat never stopped for at least a solid 2 hours, and we're loving it here on V-Speed as well.
Yeah, and then just a quick shout out. I want to list off all the sponsors too that made this possible this season. 29 Graphics, Tractor USA, Clark Print Shop, Walk and Roll and Costumes, Harpoon Design. They helped sponsor the first half of this season, and then 29 Graphics picked up the second half. And then, like you mentioned, all the admins, want to make sure we get them all named. So Reggie Ortega, Brian Chambliss, Bryce Shoemaker, Chad Klinger. And then also we got some exciting news with one of our competitors. He's really good. He's won a few races this season. Joshua Banks. He's actually coming on sponsorship next season with his company, M&J Distributors. So, we're just super lucky to have a lot of fortunate or just really generous guys that are willing to put up some money. Because, Bradley, these things take money to run, and we're trying to keep this series free to join, but, that's not possible without all the help of our generous members who have donated financially, but also these sponsors. So
the fact that we got a premier sponsor and M&J Distributors coming on board next season, we're super stoked, and we just can't wait to get started.
Absolutely. And that's what keeps it all together, and that's what makes it a great place to come race. Hope you guys are as excited as I am for season number 3, as we have concluded season number 2 in our 160 laps at Phoenix Raceway. Again, congratulations to J.Mcwhorter and Chad Klinger getting the victory here tonight. But for everybody here at V-Speed, Connor Horn, thank you for, all that you did here this season. I know that at times, man, it was tough to just be like, man, it's Saturday. It's Saturday. We got things and things and stuff to do on Saturdays sometimes, and you committed to it, and you were here every single day. And I can't thank Jeff Wright enough for giving us the opportunity here on V-Speed. But for everybody at V-Speed, Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Morgan Cook, Logan Threlkeld, Christian Hill, list goes on and on. This is Bradley Cooper telling you guys to have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you next time, season 3 in August. Take care, everybody.